Hi, everybody. Good morning. Here with Glenda as she gets into the frame. One day we'll figure out the technology.
I don't think so, because as you can see, we're not young chickens. We weren't raised with all this technology, and we're doing the best we can. So hang in there with us. But we are not AI. We are real people, and I am Jay Glenda, and this is Mike, and you are watching Coffee Moments from the Disney House. So thanks for being here. Good morning, honey.
Good morning.
Good morning. You know what I wanted to talk about? I think I can help some people. I hope so. I'd like to anyway. I'd like to think I could. So, when my kids were little, we did a road trip, and we did a road trip to Disney. We did a road trip to Myrtle Beach a couple of times too. But I wanted to talk about a couple things that we did that I think helped the kids to enjoy the trip from the time we left the house, and it was a really long drive. Both those trips were long drives for us. The time we left the house till we got to our destination, and all the things that I did, and to make it like fun as soon as they get in the car, because you know how kids are. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like a broken record. And I think everybody else's kids are probably the same too, the anticipation of just getting there, So anyways, I have a bunch of ideas and I wanted to share them. So I hope it helps you guys, because I know everyone's probably now, school's coming almost to an end, and everybody's getting ready for their summer plans. And so I wanted to talk about it before, now, so that you guys could maybe take some of these tips and incorporate them into your trip, maybe to make it a little bit nicer. So one of the things, I'm gonna move Mickey back here. Hold on a second. So you can see Mickey. There we go. There's Mickey. There we go. So one of the things that I did was I played a little game with the kids. Because, they're always he touched me, she touched me the whole way there. So one of the things I did was I went to the dollar store, and I got coloring books and crayons, and I got those. Do you remember color forms? Did your kids ever have color forms?
No.
Oh, they're like plastic stickers, and you open up this little thing, and you can like make a little like village or your little dolls or something like that, and you can remove the stickers and move them, so you can play with it like all day long. And then you just shut it up, and it's like cardboard. You shut it up, and then you can play with it constantly. Like the stickers are reusable. They're called color forms. Anyways, I had a couple of those. My boys were into little Hot Wheel cars and little G.I. Joes. Of course, my daughter loved all the Disney princesses and all of that. But what I did was I went to the dollar store, and I bought plastic little bags in all different colors, and I numbered them. So, and I knew that like how many hours was it going to take us to get there? And like every 2 hours, if they were good for those 2 hours, they got to pick a bag. Of course, my daughter, I had a bag that I knew was all hers, pink like or whatever, and then my boys were blue and green. So I kind of knew which each kid was getting. So anyways, everybody had a color, and I knew that the trip was going to be like 8 hours the first day, and then maybe like another like 8 hours the second day. It was a long trip down, so I needed to have like 16 things or something like that for each of the kids to make it fun. But these are dollar things; they weren't that expensive, and some of them were actually snacks that I knew that they would like a certain snack, so I would put the snacks in there as well. So anyhow, so that's what we did. And then every like hour and a half, I would say, okay, you guys, usually we were at a rest stop, and, or we got gas, or they stopped to get a McDonald's to eat, let them run around a little bit, but I would give them a little bag. And then they had these trays. They still sell them. I've seen them all over the place. But these trays, and they're plastic, and they go across the kids' laps. And then on each side, they're like, I don't know, maybe like $10. And on each side, there's like a little tray that they can put their drink, their snacks, and like their coloring books or any of their things that they're working on or playing with. And they just loved it. And I kept all of those things and put it in a big bag. So then on the way home, I got those things back out again, and so they had they were still using them on the way back home. We didn't play that game because I would have ended up at home with the whole car full of stuff. But I used it again on the way back home. But they were so tired after our week at Disney that they kind of slept on and off, and they were just talking about all the things they got to see and they got to do, and that was a lot of fun, just that alone. So it wasn't, and then they did have all the toys. I would get back out and give them like coloring books and crayons and the color forms I liked, and my daughter little dolls and things like that. So that was what we did, and it seemed like the vacation started 2 days before, because it really started when we pulled out of the house to go.
Mm.
So anyways, and like I said, I think that make sure that if you're traveling with pets or with kids, don't rush it and try to get there. I think that's the worst thing to do. Everyone's going to show up and be miserable. Don't do that. We travel with our dogs. We plan extra time. We stop. We take them for a walk. And then they get back in the car and fall asleep for another couple hours. They're just like children. Or stop at a playground or, wherever. Stop and have a picnic at a park or something. Let them run around and get it out of their system. But I personally don't think that, okay, you're going to put them in the car and you're going to drive for 2 days because you're going to pay the price when they get there. They're going to be showing up awfully crabby. So,
well, now that Glenda said that, when I was driving down with the kids, the one time we went down, we had left about 3 in the afternoon. I had worked that day, and so we left after I got home, and driving all the way down, the grumpy one was me. And
did you go all the way through?
Well, my kids.
See,
no,
don't do that.
My kids were doing great. Everybody doing great, And then so they fell asleep about 9 o'clock. So I've been on the road for about 6 hours, and we had stopped and got dinner and all that. But they had fallen asleep. So I'm like, okay, well maybe I'll drive a little bit further. Well, I drove all night, and then we had left Pittsburgh at 3, and I was in Orlando in the morning. And when they woke up, and they were like, couldn't believe that we were already in Florida. But I still had a couple more hours to drive to my parents' place. And I said, we've already driven this far, so why don't we have breakfast and we'll just keep on driving.
Going. Yeah.
So I drove straight through.
Yeah,
and
I know people do that.
I would never, ever, ever recommend to do that.
No.
That was dumb of me to do that. Because I'm tired, and I got there and say hey to mom and dad and go to bed.
You're exhausted, and then it takes you a whole day or two to catch up with yourself.
My kids always did fantastic to drive down and back. We always had credit goes to my wife at the time, because she had each kid had a bunch of food and games and whatever
Same
they
thing
had right
That's
there.
us women.
So
we know what to do.
It kept them busy. My son, he always had the best seat. He had the whole back seat of the van. And the kids each had the girls had each their individual seat. But again, just take your time. Like we would go from here down to, I think, Columbia, South Carolina, and that would be where we'd stop for hotel or that. And going down here one time, I remember stopping at a hotel, and just because we would not set the reservations in advance, we would just stop wherever we were.
I think a lot of people, because you don't know how far you're going to, when you're tired, you want to stop. You don't know where you're going to be.
So, but I always wanted a place with a pool, and it was raining. I said, well, do you have an indoor pool? And the guy was a little smart, and he says, well, this is going down south. We don't have indoor pools.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then, so anyways, we went down the road a little bit further, and there was one with an indoor pool, so the kids could burn off some steam.
That's a good idea.
And
that's a great idea, actually.
We also took their bikes.
Well, you would go camp. Is this when you went camping?
No.
No?
We would take their bikes, and again, as we're going down to Florida, and stop somewhere in a park or something like that, and let them go ride bikes for a little bit. Again, not rushing things, but just, again, letting them relax a little bit.
Yeah, I think even when you're in the parks, I think that you need to, and I've said that before a million times, that people think they're paying all this money, and it is expensive. I'm not going to, I think we all agree on that. But I do think you enjoy yourself better when you don't try to do a million things. Do the things that your favorite things are, or maybe 1 or 2 extra things, and be happy with your day. Like, don't try to do it all, because you rush through it all, and it's the quiet, little moments with maybe an interaction with a cast member or other people I've actually met. We're the nicest people, standing in line and talking to them, and they'll be like, hey, where are you from? I can tell your accent. By the way, We had a comment that somebody is like, "Oh my gosh, your Pittsburgh accent." Never thought I had an accent. So I guess I have a pretty strong Pittsburgh accent. Does Mike have an accent? Tell us if you think Mike has an accent in the comments. Do you think, did anybody ever tell you you had a Pittsburgh accent?
I remember going down, I think it was in Maryland or Virginia, and somebody went in the store and the guy at the cash register said, "You from Pittsburgh?"
I don't think we have an accent.
So I can tell by how you're talking. And
Like, that's so funny.
But there is actually a dictionary, Pittsburghese, where it says the words that the way
that we say like there's people say rubber band, but we say gum band. We call it pop. Everybody else calls it soda. There's a whole list, like there's a whole book on it. I actually bought that book for my exchange student when she was here from Germany. And I have to tell you something really, really funny. So she was in school here at the high school, and she came home one day and she said, "I can't believe what happened today." And I said, "What happened?" And she said, "I asked the kid sitting next to me," and she's in, I think it was like 10th grade or something. I think she was in 10th at the time. And she said, "I asked the guy sitting next to me if he had a rubber." And the whole class started laughing. And I said, "You asked him what? Why would you ask him that?" And I guess in Germany, that means an eraser. She found out the hard way.
Yeah, translation's a little.
Yeah, that is called an eraser here in America. So those little things, but I think that accents are. I love to hear everybody's accents. I think they're cool. You know, it's like it's nice that we don't all talk the same. That'd be really boring. So, where are you from? Do you think you have an accent? You probably don't. I know New Yorkers. Is that how they say it? I love their accents. They're really, really cool.
Well, they don't say it like you, but I know what you mean.
I know. My favorite accent, I want you to learn to talk like this. My favorite accent, I call it the butler accent, is the British accent. Give me your best British accent.
No.
Come on, do it. You have to try.
No.
Come on.
No. I'm not.
Would you like a spot of tea? Say that.
Yeah. Would you like a spot of tea?
That just is your normal voice.
Well, I don't know how.
No, it has to go like this.
I'm not going to fake it.
You have to fake it. That's acting.
I don't know how to do that.
You have to say, "Would you like?" I think if our butler voice would go like this. "Would you like a spot of tea?" Something like that. You have to like drag it out. Now try again.
No, now our people from the UK were like saying, "She has a horrible accent."
We're sorry.
So apologize.
I'm sorry. Anybody from the UK, I'm sorry, but I really love your accent. Oh, talk about that. My exchange student, you know what she did? Because I love that accent so much. She programmed my Alexa in my car and on my phone to have a man's British accent. So when I get directions, it's like, turn right at the next light, turn left, however it is, the British accent. So I have like this British guy that is the voice of my Alexa. My exchange student did it for me because she knows I love that accent so much. So anyways, where are you guys all from? Drop it in the comments. Let us know where you're from. And if you have any plans for this summer or anywhere that you're going, it's fun to see where everybody's planning on heading. We went to the beach last summer, and we're always up to something. But anyways, so until tomorrow, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share this with your friends that they can join us too with their favorite beverage. And we really appreciate you all being here. Let's end it with our little jingle. Slogan. It's not a slogan, it's a jingle. Ready? Here we go. Ready? Sip, smile a lot. Coffee moments, hit the spot. He's a good sport. Hope you guys like that. And I hope you have a wonderful day. We will see you back here tomorrow for Coffee Moments. Until then, take care. Have a great one. Bye-bye. I'm just going to hit it here.
Sure you are.
My arm.